Hey Rohit, good evening.
Hey, hi guys. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
All good, sir.
Wow. Hey, what's up, Aditya?
All good, bhai. All good.
New cameo in the event.
अच्छा इवेंट है राइट जेनएआई का क्लासिफायर नहीं एक्सट्रैक्टर.
Oh, there's a whole different meetup going in Bangalore.
No, we all gathered here so that we can attend this session.
So much for learning.
Yes. Mumbai chapter is important. Hello, Bhuvaneshwaran sir.
Uh, if
Hi.
you want me to put him in presenter mode, let me.
The speakers are added in presenter mode, right?
Yeah, it's Siddesh.
Hey, hi Siddesh. Nice to meet you.
Hey, hi Rohit. Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Hi.
Do
Rohit
you want to
needs
try sharing the screen, or if you have not already done that?
no. I will start the recording as well, and he'll share his screen.
Just try sharing screen if everything is fine. Then
Siddesh, can you just share your screen and check if that's good?
Okay. Sure.
It was good yesterday, the new platform as well, but it was pretty good.
So I have shared my screen.
Yep, I can see.
can you go to the slide or studio or something?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Got it. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
We'll just wait for a couple of minutes and then we can get started. In the meantime, Rohit, do you want to share about the AI series that we are coming up with, AI Associate series?
Yeah, sure. So if not sure if you noticed, I'll share the link to the series which Par just mentioned. So UiPath community has come out with a series focusing on AI associate developers. So the whole idea is to guide the participants who are looking to get AI associate certified. So it is a hybrid kind of a session. There will be live sessions as well as some portion of self-paced learning on UiPath Academy. The highlight is if you go ahead and attend all the sessions and complete the tasks, you will stand a chance to get free associate certification vouchers. So if that is something that you're looking for, this is a great way to earn this voucher, which costs around $150, if I'm not wrong. I'll share the link to the series over here. Feel free to register and also share it with your colleagues, your friends whom you feel will see value in this program as well.
So, if you are planning to learn about the different AI products of UiPath or what are the latest features, you can attend that series and participate in all the assignments and activities that will be done in that. So, I think let's wait for a minute more, and I think Satish, then we can get started. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I'll,
So I have just pasted the link to the AI developer series. So have a look at it. There will be multiple sessions on that. So you'll have to register to each of them separately. But at least register for the first session so that you are onboarded and you don't miss out on the task.
disconnect.
In this series, in this webinar, feel free to ask any questions on chat. If or you can just raise hands and we will, give you the presenter access and you will be able to unmute and speak if that's what you how you prefer to ask the questions.
Got it. I see majority of the people who attended the session that was yesterday as well, so we're pretty much happy.
Perfect.
Uh,
Thank you. All the best, guys.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you. All right, then. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in for this session. I'll just quickly set the context and then we'll move ahead. So, I'm Parth Doshi. I work as an RP consultant at Wonderbots and lead the UiPath Community Mumbai chapter. If you are based out of Mumbai, you might have attended in person events. If not, then the page where you RSVP'd for this particular event, do join the chapter and stay updated to all the upcoming virtual and in-person events that we do in Mumbai. And if you have not attended the yesterday's session, yesterday we talked about all the latest Gen AI activities that were there that are there in UiPath India's latest update. Now, today in this session, we are going to more focus on document understanding. We all have been learning or seeing many posts and tutorials about using document understanding along with AI Center and using the out of box models provided by UiPath. But today, our speaker Siddhesh Shawant, he has brought something new to us. What he is going to show us is how you can use the new generative AI extractor. Not only that, there are new recent updates with the Gen AI activities for document understanding. Yesterday we saw in general. Today we are going to more focus on processing the documents and related to that. So without wasting any more time, I'll just hand it over to you, Siddesh, and we can get started.
Thank you, Parth. Hope I'm audible, right? My voice is clear.
Yep, it's perfectly clear.
Okay. Uh, okay, let's get started. I'll pull my slide. Is my slide visible?
Yep, I can say it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. I am Siddhesh Sawant, and this particular today's session, we will see, how to use the generative extractor activity to, extract the data from the documents such as purchase order, how it can be used, how with the help of prompts. So that is something we are going to see in this particular session today. Before that, let me just stop my camera. Okay. Yeah. So my part basically, have introduced these two activities. One is generative extractor, which is part of the UiPath intelligent OCR activity. The second activity is extract document data, which is part of UiPath document understanding activities. I have put the screenshot generative extractor and the extract document data. These two activities we are seeing in this particular session today. So both the activities are helping us to extract the data from the with the help of prompt. And the document, when I say specifically, I'm talking about the purchase order document where the information about the client, vendor, and the line items, which are the part of the PO. Now here, the difference between these two activities is that the generative extractor activity, we follow the document understanding framework starting from the taxonomy till the extracting the data, where we use our generative extractor. And for the extract document data activity, we are not required to follow that understanding framework. You just have your activity, pass the document, give the prompts, and it will fetch the information for you. So we'll see that shortly in the demo. So I have my UiPath Studio here, and I'll show you the PO. I'll just give you a walkthrough of the PO, what I have. This is a sample PO. You can see the purchase order number. You can see the client name. This is the client name, client address. Here the supplier information is nothing but the vendor name. This is the vendor name, vendor address. So we'll fetch this information. Then there's the order date, delivery date. We have the line items. We have the amount information. So what we will do, we will fetch the header information. We'll take the purchase order number, client name, client address, supplier vendor name, vendor address, the order date, delivery date, and we'll go for the total amount. That is what we will fetch it as the label information, header information, I'll call it. And then we'll go for the information from this table. We'll target product, quantity, unit cost, and total amount inclusive VAT. So we'll see how to do this with the generative extractor activity, and we'll use it with the document understanding framework. So as you all within the document understanding framework, but have this package here, UiPath Intelligent OCR activity. As soon as you install the package, you will have this taxonomy manager will be visible, tab will be visible in this ribbon. So we'll be clicking here and we'll create a taxonomy. So I will add a group. Let's give the name as community, and I'll add the category. Let me give the name as documents, and then the document type, I'll mention it as purchase order. I'll save this. Now I have my group, category, and document. I'll start adding the fields. So I want PO number. I'll specify PO number. The field type is text. I need client name. It is text. I need client address. I'll specify the type as address. Then I'm going for the, so we have this, we'll go for the vendor name, vendor address, text, vendor address, type is address. Then we have order date and delete date. We'll go for the order date. The field type will be date. Then we go for delivery date. And we take this total amount. I'll remove the spaces and the special character. And we'll say text. Okay, so we added the fields to fetch the header information from the purchase order. Now, typically, if you are aware, if you have seen that, in traditional machine learning, where we need to add a table to fetch the table information from the purchase order, like like this. We add a, let's say I'll give the name as items, and the field type will be table. So this is how we generally use it to, when we train the model to fetch the data from the documents. So let's say I've added one item. Here I will add product, mention text. I will add quantity, text. I will add unit cost, text, and I will add amount. So this is how you generally do it, when you want to train a model to fetch the data from the document like purchase order or invoices. But in here, when we are using this generative extractor, the table field is not supported in the generative extractor activity. So we will not be using this. It carry no meaning of using these items of type table to fetch the information, which is there in the tabular format in the purchase order. So how to do that? So generative extractor allows you to give the prompt to fetch. So what we can do, we can retrieve the data as a specific column. Let's say, I have want this product column, quantity column, unit cost, and amount inclusive what. So I will have my prompts where I'll say that, fetch the information for this product column, for the quantity column, unit cost column, amount inclusive VAT column, and then I will have my logic to create a table or anything, the as per the business logic that I want to use this information, I can do it. Or I can specify that, give a prompt that fetch these product columns, whichever columns I want. I or I can say, give this particular information in a JSON format, and then I serialize that JSON, and I can have my data table ready. So now in this particular session, I'll show you, fetching this column information separately, and then with the prompt, and then I'll create a data table. So what I'll do, I'll add few more field. Let's say product text. So this is the field, that product that will be fetching, then the quantity, then the unit cost, and then the amount. And save. So our taxonomy is ready. I'll close this and I'll come back to my studio. So now I'll fetch the load taxonomy activity. I'll pass the variable taxonomy. So we have the taxonomy loaded. Then we go for the digitization. I'll specify the variable document path. I already have the variable created, and the path I have given in my machine, which is this particular PO which I have opened. So I'm passing the document path, doc text variable of type document text, then the document object model, and this particular by default we are using that which is already there, and API key everything has been provided, so we don't need to do anything here. Now coming to the classification, we will be classifying the document. So we'll have classified document scope. We'll add the document path, the taxonomy. I'll just pass the variable which I have created from the previous activities, document path, document text. DOM, and we'll use the generative classifier here. The prompt will give the purchase order, and we'll configure this classifier. Now we will go for the data extraction scope. Document path, taxonomy, just a second, classification result I forgot as output. I'll pass the classification result variable here, then going to the data extraction scope, taxonomy, I'll add document text, classification result, DOM, and the extraction result variable. Now we will go for the generative extractor activity, the important part of this session. So I have dropped this generative extractor, and I'll go in the prompt. Now if you see here in the left side, the purchase order field, you are seeing all the fields which I have declared as part of my taxonomy. And here you will not see the field items which of type table. So generative extractor activity generally does not support the table field. So you can see all the fields, but the items which I have created in the taxonomy of type table field is not there. So we'll pass the prompts now. Simple as a purchase order number, client name, client address. So the vendor is nothing here as a supplier. If you see supplier information, so I'll mention supplier, supplier address. Then we go for the order date, for the delivery date. So we'll fetch this now, and we'll come back again for the prompts where we want to go fetch the information on the line items. So total amount, I'll fetch this as well. I'll specify as it is for the total amount, the field which is there in PO. I'll save this. I'll configure my extractors. So I want PO number, client name, client address, vendor name, vendor address, order date, delivery date, and total amount. Here you see the item field is available in configuring the extractor. It was not available in the generative extractor, so it does not support that table field. We will configure this later part of this session. So we'll see how it is extracting this header information through the prompts. I will add extraction activity. export extraction activity.
And Siddesh, while you do this, right, we have one question in the chat from
Yes.
Shanmuga Devi. When will
Mhm.
we utilize a generative classifier? So I think you have already used it, but if you can just highlight again that how is that output being used and how is that being used?
Okay, so it is as generative classifier you are using. We are just giving a prompt, document of this particular type. It will identify, classify that particular document, and the result will be stored in the classification result. So we are passing multiple documents. If it will check internally if the document is of type purchase order, then only it will take that document and move ahead with the extraction part. So that is how this classifier generally work. And the generative classifier, we are just passing the prompt as a purchase order. Otherwise, if you use any other classifier, there you give the key text, right? Which text it should look for in the document. If that is matching, it takes that document. Otherwise, it consider that the document is not what it is expecting. That is how that generative classifier is.
Correct. And I hope that answers your question, Shanmuga Devi, and Pratit also has the same question. And see, we are going with an assumption that the attendees have the fundamental understanding of what document understanding is. So the flow of data and the flow of outputs from one activity to the other, that remains the same. It's just that we are using the modernized
Generative,
way of doing it. Yeah.
yes. So the focus remains, generative extractor, how we can extract the data through the prompts, which is very easy now rather than, traditional way of training the model. Of course, this model training and everything has its own advantage as well. But this is something, we received it from the UI path now that we can use prompt as well. And quickly we can fetch the data. We don't have to spend time in, training the model, uploading the model, checking the accuracy or something. Through the generative extractor and the prompt, it is fast now. So now I have used this export extraction result. I'm extracting the information, I'm getting it into the data set, and I'll add the validation station to see the information. I'll pass the variables. Extraction result. We'll specify validate. We are not going to validate anything. Yeah, I'll just populate the variable. So we have all the details here. So what we have did in the generative extractor in the prompt, if you can see here, so these are the fields which we have it in the taxonomy. So we can see these fields in the generative extractor activity, and against this field now we are giving the prompt. So it will understand from the document that we are passing PO document. It will understand from through the prompt which information it has to fetch from this particular document. Okay, so that is what we are going to see now. We'll see first for the label header information, and then we'll go for the line level information, tabular information. So I'll save this. I'll run this particular code.
And again, while that is running, Siddesh, we have one question from Vikrant that
Mhm.
can we pass multiple prompts in case of dynamic fields?
You can
So,
work multiple prompts, as in you cannot do multiple prompts as a comma separate or something. That is your question, then that is not possible. But you have to work on a prompt where you will be able to fetch that particular information that you are looking to get extract from the document. Take help from the chat gpt as well. Some of the prompts, chat gpt also gives you the prompt. You can try that, but you have to work on your prompts to fetch that particular information.
right. And with that, Vikrant, if you can give some example, right? What dynamic fields are you talking about? Then I think maybe Siddesh can, help more with that. And while still it is running, Siddesh will take another question from Deepika in the chat. If data is not columnar, how do you give prompts? So
Data is not
if
columnar. You mean to say it is like tabular format is not available like this?
yeah, I'm sure she means that only.
Yeah. So I have worked on such PO as well, and it is all you have to work on your prompts only. So through the prompt, it fetches that information as well.
Yeah, and to add to that, right, while I was working with one of the documents and I was using the same generative extractor, maybe what kind of prompts I gave is, can you extract the client ID which is at the top of the page, or can you
Yes.
extract a pay period date, that is at the end of the document on the right hand side.
Correct.
So you can
Correct.
just enhance your prompts and it will extract the data that you want. So it's
The
more about
prompts need to
prompt
be very
engineering.
specific. Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
Correct. Correct,
Over
Parth.
to you, Siddesh, again.
Yes. So now we see, we have this validation session open, and we'll see that PO number. It has extracted the PO number, the client name, Delhi Ho Company B LLC, then the client address it has extracted. Then you go to the vendor name. It has extracted the vendor name, Food and Beverage Mumbai branch. Then the vendor address, PO box, and the Mumbai, India. Then we go for the order date. It has extracted the order date as well, which is 28/4/24. And then I forgot the delivery date. Oh yeah, delivery date is also here. Sorry. So delivery date 29/04/2024, and then the total amount 64260. Okay. So now here, if you see, right, it has taken the word rupees as well. I just the figures, right? So I'll work on my prompt that it should give me just figures only. I do not want any symbol or dollar, rupees, any symbol or text. I do not want. So I can do that in my prompt. So we'll do it quickly. So let me open my prompt, and here I'll specify that exclude symbols or so any dollar rupee symbol that comes with the total amount or something, it will understand that it has to exclude that. It just the figure only. So I'll save this, I'll run this, let's see it.
Yeah, while you were showing the present validation section, Siddesh, there's a question from Sandeep Reddy that why confidence is zero for all fields.
You can have your confidence. Now this particular session, my focus is on extracting the data, but you can do that confidence, and you can, in your code you can play with the confidence. The confidence is not that, then you can go for the another extractor. Like we can use multiple extractor, and whichever we have the confidence more, we can go for that value. That definitely you can do it. So here for the session perspective, I'm not using any confidence. My intention is not to go to the confidence and do other things, but it's straightforward. We can extract the data through the prompts. So now you can see total amount inclusive VAT. It has excluded that text symbol, and we got the 642.60. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and we'll see, how we can, fetch the information in the table, the line item information specifically. And I'm targeting these four columns: product, quantity, unit cost, and the amount inclusive VAT. So I'll close this, and I'll come back to my prompt. So now product, quantity, unit cost, and amount. These are the four columns that we want from the table. So I'll show you the prompts which I have ready. I'll take it. First, let me put it here, and then I'll read it out for the quantity, unit cost, and then I'm going for the amount inclusive VAT. So all my prompts are same. It's just the field I'm specifying. For the product, I'm mentioning that please return the product on this purchase order as list from top to bottom as a list in the format product one, product two. Similarly, for the quantity, again the same. Please return the quantity on this purchase order as a list from top to bottom as a list in the format quantity one, quantity two. Similarly, for the unit cost, as a list top to bottom in the format unit cost one, unit cost two, and similarly for the amount inclusive VAT, as a list from top to bottom. This is what the prompt I am giving, and we can now see how it is putting the information. So I'll configure this extractor as well. So I'll configure now everything. So I have configured product, quantity, unit cost, and amount to fetch the information in the table column, and I'll run this. So the prompts are there in front of you when the bot is running.
While the bot is running, we have one question from Gautam
Yes.
that What about handling image based or scan PDFs? Can that also work?
It should work. I haven't tried, but it should work. If the visibility is there, the is of a good format, then it should work. But I haven't tried it. So the validation session is open and we'll go and see the information. So it has written all the information for the product column. It starts from the all-purpose flour. Then the second is all-purpose flour 2 kg, that is also there. Then third is drinking water 12 by 500, that is also there. Then the drinking water 1.5 to 6, that is also there. Then the zero drinking water 1.5, that is also there. And then we have this extra virgin oil, that is also there, 750 ml. So we have all the six products. Similarly, we have all the six quantities. Similarly, we have all the six unit costs and we have all the six amounts. We retrieve this through just the prompt that I want this information in a top-down order and in this format. So it has written this. Now, for this demo purpose, what I have done, I'm creating a table and I'm putting it in an Excel file. So we'll see that quickly. I have the code ready. Let me close this. I'll show you the code as well.
And while you open the other code, Siddesh, I think this is more fascinating and interesting to all the audience who are attending it. We
Okay.
have questions coming in continuously. So there's one question again from Vikrant, that can English prompt work with different language invoices? So if an invoice is in Spanish, so can
Mhm.
English prompt still work in that case?
It's a good question. I'm not
I
sure
think
about
it's a
it.
use case we should try.
Yeah, but definitely, we should try this. And then 50%, I'm not sure, but I say it should work. But again, this is a very good question. I need to try this as well. Okay.
Right.
So
And
yeah,
yeah, yeah. One more question, Siddesh, and then
sure.
I can think we can go ahead. It's from Harsha and Pratik. They both have similar questions. That what if your one single PDF has multiple invoices or purchase orders? What would we
Sorry,
do
I,
in that
I lost your
case?
part. Can you repeat your question?
Yeah. So I'm saying it's a question from Pratik and Harsha, that if in case one PDF has multiple invoices or multiple purchase orders, how do we handle that?
Multiple invoices, one PDF having multiple invoices, multiple purchases,
Hmm,
right?
hmm, hmm.
Yes. So
Yes.
I'll share my experience. When we had received this, we had split it, and we passed it as a single document. It didn't work for me, and so split it. We had a request that we should have a PDF single purchase order as a single file, and that we can work. A single purchase order having multiple pages, yes, it was working, but a single document having multiple purchase order, that we restricted. A
Okay.
PO having multiple pages, definitely it is working.
Correct. Correct. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Siddesh. I think we can go ahead.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So now we saw that in a validation we have all the information. What I am doing for this demo perspective, I am creating two different table, which is a header table and the line item table. So in the header table, I have this label information, which is PO number, client name, client address, name, supplier address, order date, delivery date, total amount, and I am just going to add everything in this table from the extraction table which I have received. DS extraction table, table one. I'm just adding it in that particular table, and we'll write it into the Excel. Similarly, for the line level information, I have created a table with the four columns: product description, quantity, unit cost, and amount. And then I'm taking the information from the extraction result table. I have some string manipulations here that I'm replacing the square bracket and converting it into the array. Once I have converted into the array, I am kind of doing some hard coding only to put it in the data table. But you can also create a data column, and that will be more dynamic. You can add it into the data table. But for the session perspective, I just have hard coded. I know there are 6 rows, so I just created quickly a data row and I'm adding it into the data table. And at the end, I'll be putting it into the Excel file. So I'll run this quickly and I'll show you. And this is the Excel file which I have. which just have having header this what you call header information. Okay, and we will see that all the information from the PO coming to this Excel file. So I'll close this and I'll run my bot. So it will take some time. Yeah, we got it. The validation session is there. Now the information is there. I'll just click submit. Yep, it is done. Go to the extract data, and you see all the information now. It is in the Excel table. So we fetched everything from the PO, and then I dumped everything in the Excel file. So I fetched the columns from the PO as a single text, and then through the prompt, and then I converted for my business logic for the session perspective. I converted them into the array, and then build a table and dumped into the Excel file. So I have all the information from the PO now with the Excel. So now here, interesting is that I was talking about you can also provide the prompt like fetching the table for particular information in a table format or in a JSON array. So that also we have these prompts. I can pull this as well. So if you see, I can ask to return the information, the required column, like please return the line items of this purchase order as a JSON array of JSON object, and in this format where it will you will get the JSON array like this. So now you can see serialize, deserialize this, and you have your data table ready. Similarly, I can also ask to return these particular columns in a table format, whether with or without column names you can specify, and you will get the information like this. So I have one screenshot as well where how it can be seen in the this thing present validation session. So this is how you can also retrieve the information through a prompt saying give it in a JSON format or in a table format. That is also. So this is for we saw it for the generative extractor. Now I'll quickly move to the another activity which is extract document data. So I have the code ready and I'll quickly explain this how the extract document data will work. So you can see my screen with the extract document data activity. It comes from this particular package UiPath document understanding activities. Now when you drag this particular activity, let me show you extract document data. This is how it will be. It is reloaded. Yeah, very fine. Yeah. Now you see there is no prompt field here. As soon as you select the generative extractor, the prompt field appear. Here I got the prompt field now. And then you pass your prompt. So I'll delete this and I'll show you in the extract document data. So this is predefined generative extractor as the extractor I have selected. And in the prompts, it allows you to specify the prompt. And here input is my purchase order file. So if I go here in the prompt, the same information, if you see the fields I have given PO number, client name, client address, vendor name, vendor address, order date, delivery date, total amount, and then the product quantity, unit cost, and amount. So here also I'm specifying the same. It just for this particular activity, it is in the double quote. Purchase order number, client name, client address, supplier name, supplier address, order date, delivery date, total inclusive amount without any currency symbol or text, and then the same prompts which I had given in for the generative extractor activities within the document understanding framework. So now here once you get the output in the extraction result variable I have declared, you get the output here. Now how you can extract this particular value is interesting. The extraction result is the output of the extract document data activity. Within that, you have a property as the data, and that will give you all the fields that you declared for your prompts. So in prompt, you have seen the fields number, client name, client address. So the same name you will get it, as soon as you type your output variable data property, and then it will appear. It will show you all the word declared in the extract data document data prompt field. So now I'm fetching this document PO number, client name, vendor address, order date, delivery date, total amount. Similarly, this is for the header details. Similarly, for the line item details, I'm fetching this again I'm converting them into the array. The same thing, I have some string manipulation to replace the square bracket, converting into the array, and then populating my data table. So if you see, the extraction result is the output of the extract document data. Within that, I have a property data, and within that, I'll find all my fields which I had declared to fetch the information from the document. And finally, I'll dump everything in the Excel file. So I'll run this quickly. So here, we don't need to use any document understanding frame, nothing. Just pass your document and your prompts, and it is ready. So I'll run this, and we'll see this as well. It takes some time. Let me just run this again. This doesn't take this much time. Something has happened. I'll run this again. I'll show the Excel file as well. This is the extract data document file, and this is empty now. I'll close this, and I'll run this bot. So these are the prompts which I provided in the extract document data.
In the meantime, Siddesh, we have one question from Sandeep that
Yeah.
what exactly is the document understanding project predefined? At the start, I think you used something called as predefined. So what is that? Is Sandeep asking?
Yeah, this predefined that you are seeing here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bot stop. Okay. So this particularly shows the project, but yeah, even I'm also figuring out this, but this you have selected as a predefined only. Okay, the value by default comes as a predefined only. I'll go to the file which I have, which the bot now populated, and we have the information through extract data document as well. Okay, so this is how we have used extract document data and generative extractor. The other thing which I would show quickly here, you also get the option here in the extract document data to specify specific extractor. Like mine is PO, so I can go for the purchase order extractor as well. There are different extractors are available depending on the document that you are passing. So I tried with this purchase order as well. I have the purchase order document, so I tried this inbuilt purchase order. Now the only difference is here if the field that which is not specified in this particular extractor, it is not trained to extract that information, it will not be able to extract that. So it will like it has shown here, it will extract this kind of information. So like in my purchase order, I have this store information also, so it will not extract that. Whichever it is matching as per that inbuilt extractor, it will extract that. So I'll quickly run this, everything remains same. I'll show this as well.
In the meantime, we have one question that can you show how you link the prompts to that Excel and like how is it reading from that?
Excel, you're talking about this Excel?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is my sample Excel I created to keep the prompt in front of everyone, nothing else.
Okay, so the prompt, and can you just go to that prompts of extract document data and
Yeah, sure.
of the UiPath activity?
Okay,
It is running, right?
it is running now. I can stop this. Let's see this. You're talking about this particular prompt, right?
Yeah, when you select generative extractor, yeah. Can you open that? So, Pratit, if you see in the Excel, he has just kept it to show to us, and then he is just writing it manually over here. But what you can do is you can use normally how we use config files, right? You can use
Yes.
config file, and that can be config driven the prompts. You don't have to
Yes. Yes.
necessarily write over here. So I think
Correct.
that is how it can be. And we have one more question. If this activity is working for documents, can we skip using the framework and creating taxonomy? I think, Siddesh, if you want to talk about it, there's a question from Sandeep that if this activity is working for documents, can we
Mhm.
skip using DU framework and creating taxonomy?
It is mostly, you have to take that call, why you need document understanding framework and why you need this. Here you will not see any this thing export result is not there where you can pass it to the action center or something. So you have to use action center where business needs to be involved to view the data. Definitely you will go with the document understanding, right? You will pass the data to the action center and everything. So for that, definitely you need to have it, but it is
Right.
it
So
is totally dependent on your call.
right. Siddesh said, right? It depends on use case. See, if there
Yes.
is a expenditure processing use case, and if your expenditure is more than $5,000 for a month, then you need a human to validate that. That cannot be used over here because you will need the standard DU framework and process orchestration framework, and you will have to create that action center task for that. So in that case, this might
Yes.
not be useful. But if you just want to extract the data out of probably some legal documents or bank statements or something like that, maybe then you can just simply use this straightforward approach.
Yeah. So now this particular PO, if you see, I use the purchase order extractor, predefined purchase order extractor, and it is not trained for this particular supplier name, supplier address, store name, store address. So it has not written those fields. So whatever it was matching, it has written those fields. Similarly for the lines also, it has its own way of returning it, whatever the way it understood. So this is how inbuilt purchase order extractor I have used for the purchase order document.
Siddish, I'm sure about this answer, but just want to check with you. We cannot extract the confidence level of each field when we are using this extract document data, right?
We should be like here we had this confidence, right? We have in the extractor activity gives us the confidence field also, right?
In the export extraction result, but when we are using extract document data directly, we cannot. I think so.
No, we cannot, right?
We cannot. So Pranav, if you are using the DU side and generative extractor, then maybe you can extract. But then when it comes to the extract document data, or when you are directly using that activities, you cannot get the confidence level. Well,
So that is
right.
it. We saw the generative extractor activity through the document understanding framework. We saw the extract document data, which gives you the generative extractor. This as a as a field to select, and we extracted the information. In addition, I also showed you that existing purchase order extractor for my purchase order document. So wherever it was matching the field, it was trained to extract the data. I got the data.
That is correct. And I think Siddesh, you are done with your presentation. So
Yes.
maybe if you want, we can open it for Q&A. Pratit,
Yes.
did you want to unmute yourself? If you want, I can unmute you. And if you maybe want to ask questions, just let me know in the chat or raise your hand. Anyone who would like to talk, and if you want us to unmute yourself, just raise your hand, and I think I can do that. Let me see if anyone is raising their hands, or just we'll try to. Will there be any security issues when we use GenAI activity as data is sent to servers? If you have observed this scenario while placing client, I think that is a consideration been taken in every case. You see, when AI Center was released and when AI models were being built over there, there was still an open question that whether the data is being transferred or not. So I mentioned this in yesterday's session as well. I think UiPath has listed the security concerns with this and where they are saving the data and not saving the data. If you can just see somewhere in the UiPath documentation,
Documents. Yes, it is
I think you
mentioned.
should get an answer to this. Sandeep, I think Sandeep, you asked that. Can we generate summary of the document?
You can, but not with these activities which I shown to you. There are certain other activities. There are certain GenAI activities which are coming up, and those can give you the summary.
One of them we saw yesterday that was summarized. So maybe what we can do is we can take the complete document data, pass it to the summarize activity, and maybe if that can summarize and give us the data. So in that combination, it can be used. But then again, since the cost is involved, there will be a lot of tokenization and a lot of input and output going through that, I believe. Can we use GenAI features for document understanding in the on-prem environments of UiPath? Is this supported on-prem, Siddesh?
No, I don't think so. It is not. It is with the cloud.
So, project compatibility. It shows project compatibility.
So document understanding as in available on-prem that you can install. You need a separate infrastructure, Linux server, and
Correct.
everything that you need.
Correct.
These activities, I doubt.
Vikrant has a question. Can we have recording of today's? Yes. So it will be uploaded in next 24 to 48 hours on the same page where you RSVP it for the events. So we'll make sure that is uploaded in the next 1 or 2 days. I'm just searching for. Okay, so anywhere where you are using generative AI models, right? It do not provide the confidence for the level of predictions. I'm just going to share one link in the chat to
Okay.
people, everyone who had the questions with respect to the confidence. In this website, if you just scroll towards the end, there is a paragraph for confidence level, and there it has mentioned that it does not give because since there is no basis to calculate it, it has been
Right.
trained on multiple different things and multiple different data. So
Yeah, and the same this page can be used. You can see the prompts also. How you can ask to the particular
correct, correct.
activity to provide me the fetch the data. So I have picked it
That
from
is
here only for my understanding and to use it.
yeah. While I was just searching through the documents during the session, I found this and saw the similar prompt. So yeah,
Yes.
I think you guys can go through this documentation as well. It has clearly mentioned the best practices that are involved with respect to this. And okay, give me a second. Sandeep wants to talk. Yes, Sandeep, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yes.
If confidence cannot be provided by Gen AI, so I think we cannot use it in, I mean, like purchase orders or any real time projects, right? Because it may be wrong. The data may be wrong.
Right. Let me give you one example, Sandeep.
Yeah.
When you use Chat GPT, right?
Yes.
You are, I'm pretty sure you might be using it, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
when you ask something to that Chat GPT, you get an output. You just assume that is correct,
Yes.
right? You don't ask for the confidence level in that case. So that
Yes.
same thing is being applied for the Gen AI activities over here. Based on your prompts or based on what inputs you are providing to get that output, you are
Yeah.
getting the data. There is no confidence involved because this complete model, right? It's trained on many different data points. It's not some single data point that you have provided. Now, if we talk about the AI center ML models that we create, label the documents, right? There you know that the model that you are using, it is trained on this certain 100, 200, or 500 documents that you have provided. So it can then calculate the average, and also you get the percentage in the document manager of AI center. But here, since it is in some way in the back end using chat gpt or the llm models, you are not getting that confidence level. So it's more on the output that you are getting and being certain about that.
Yeah, I've definitely understood that. I'm just talking about real time scenario when we go to customers with this Gen AI approach. They will
Right.
definitely ask, "What if it is wrong?" 'Cause that's why
See,
very basic question.
right. I totally agree, but we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
take the risk if ChatGPT answers our things. But in case if okay, there's an interesting reply from Pratit. Let me also bring him to the conversation. Okay. Hey Pratit, how are you doing? I hope you can unmute yourself and talk.
Hey, hi Parth, hi Sidesh. Thank
Uh,
you for adding me. And it
yep.
was, it was seriously a very good session. I enjoyed a lot. I learned a lot. So why I have written this path, like I don't want to argue, but
No,
what
no.
happened is like, some months ago I was giving an interview that was for a product based company,
Mhm.
and they asked me the same question. They were arguing on the confidence score. They said like you are dealing with our data and it's like very live data, and if you like, I was answering some question and I was saying like in our project we are going with 90 or 95%. They say no, for some of the invoices, some calculation, we can't go with that confidence score, because if you are doing it and if the calculation moves forward, then we will be getting the wrong answers. So that's why I just put it. Like when we ask Chat GPT, we know we will be getting the correct answers, but we can take that risk. But
Right.
here, if it is no confidence score, we'll do the automation. And out of 100 cases, if one case comes in a way where the wrong values goes, out of 8, 9 goes or 0 goes, then that will be a issue,
Right.
right?
Right. So in this case, right, I was not part of that project in the organization, but I just got that they were using generative AI classifier and the extractor, right? And in that case, what they did, they themselves created a document
Okay.
to calculate the confidence level. Now that was a more of a manual effort because you don't directly get the values over here, right? So what they did, they extracted the data using GenAI extractor or using GenAI extractor. Then when the validation station comes in, right, they themselves just had an Excel file that for this document, these all fields were collectively extracted. This was not extracted. In the similar way, they did for a good amount of documents. Let's suppose 100, 150 documents, and then they brought an average that okay, for this set of fields, whatever prompts we have given till now, it has successfully extracted the data, and this is our average. So it will be a little manual effort, but then you can definitely calculate the confidence level.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a very some amazing Excel file that they created a complete calculator of the
Uh,
confidence level. It was an interesting one, but then yeah, they did it. And there in that project also the point of discussion was if there is no confidence level, then how to give a go ahead.
Oh,
So that
okay.
is where,
Siddesh, your voice is breaking. If you want to turn
sorry.
off your camera and talk, maybe.
Okay. So I think that an action center is for that purpose only, where we can bring business users to validate the data and take the action on particular documents, the data that has been.
Right. Yeah,
Oh,
that is another way to do it as well, Pratik. So I
yeah.
think, see, if you have to process 50 or 60 documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just put everything in validation station. Let the business user validate that. If they have the confidence that they hardly have to change anything, or they are facing issues in the extraction of these certain fields, then you can see half their prompts can be improved. But if the rest is good, so then the confidence is good enough. So that
Oh,
is another way to do
yeah, I got it. And for that multiple invoice thing also, why I have asked, because that
that.
happens to us in a project. Like,
Right, right.
we got a requirement of single invoice. Then after 2 months, they came up with multiple invoice. And
Correct.
with that old code, it was hard. So we
It
just
was
trained the ML
correct.
models and
Yes,
then did it.
same Pratik. I had this similar requirement. This is where I had told them that, yeah, PO with the multiple documents definitely we can do it, but file with multiple POs we should not go ahead. So
Okay.
that's something we had put that limitation where they have to split that and they have to provide a single PO. A PO can be of multiple pages. That is fine.
Okay.
Just we have divide and rule. Here it is split and extract. So
Okay. Okay. So just Parth, one more small request. Like
yeah,
yesterday, I forgot to attend the session. So please upload that recording so that we
definitely,
can.
definitely it will be uploaded. And this since this is a complete new platform that we are trying. Right, normally it happens on Zoom meetings, but since this is a new platform, I'll just make sure that the recordings get uploaded correctly on the event
Sure.
pages by tomorrow.
Sure. 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 Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you. Thank you, Parth.
Part
Thank you, Sudesh.
Yeah,
Thank
part one
you.
thing. I mean, I don't have link for the yesterday's call, so we will not have the recording also, right?
You have the one for today.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you just go to the home page over there. You will get it.
Okay, okay. Thank you, and thanks for the informative call.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Parth. Thank you,
Thank
Sudesh.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I
Thank you,
don't
everyone. Bye.
see any new questions as well. So this, so yeah, that's good. And like yesterday's session as well, where I said that we'll come up with a 2.0 version of that session. So for this one as well, me and Siddesh will definitely plan to come up with more another version where we talk more on the different use cases that can be implemented using this, or some real implementations that have been done by either of our organizations, and we'll try to highlight that as well. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for attending the session. Have a good day. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Good luck. Bye.
Thank you everyone. Bye.
Thank you.